Hello and welcome to Charter Local Edition Northwest. Today we're in Olympia and we're talking to your elected leaders about what they're doing for you. One of the many things you might not know about the Washington State Legislature is an operation called TVW, which allows access for people to see what their lawmakers are actually doing. Joining me now is Mike Bay. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thanks for having me, Dana.
Can you explain the basics to us for folks who might have seen your programming but really don't know what TVW is and how it's different from a regular broadcast?
Yeah, it's really about open government. So we feel like if you live in Washington, it's your government and you have a right to see what goes on inside these marble halls. And so anything that happens in the state legislature, you can watch on TVW, whether it's via TV or via the web. So we cover the legislature, we also cover the executive branch, the governor's office, we cover every oral argument that happens before the state Supreme Court, we cover state agencies, boards, and commissions, and we also have produced shows, which kind of, most of our programming, and this is what's different than most television stations, we're gavel to gavel. So when the House is debating the budget like they were today, we show it from the start to the finish. You get the whole deal.
Well, and that is something that, traditional television has been criticized for. They think that the 15-second soundbite is out of date. Maybe they want more detailed, full-length information. If it's a subject they don't care about, they don't want any. And so sometimes just giving a short snippet of just highlights is not always serving everyone's interest.
Right, and part of the way that we do even our produced shows is we want people to hear from the newsmakers, which is not us, it is the lawmakers themselves. We want them to hear from them in their own voices, and we want to give them more than a soundbite. We want to give them enough that they can understand the context of where that lawmaker is coming from, why they believe what they believe. So that's, yeah.
And we're really in the thick of it for you right now.
Right. Last week it was the Senate's proposed budget. Republicans control the Senate. In the House, it's the Democrats who control the House, and they just passed their bill off the floor this very day. Two very different approaches to how to fund state services for the next 2 years, and it's kind of dramatic actually. Conflict is drama, and there's differences in how those budgets are crafted, and so how they come together in the end and how they bridge their differences is going to be real interesting to watch.
And of course, the legislature doesn't meet for the same amount of time every year, and sometimes right now we're working on the 4-year budgeting cycles, so your coverage cycles too. How do you handle that from season to season and year to year, especially when the session isn't running?
Right, we always have 2 seasons at TVW. When the legislature's here, that's what we're doing, 99% of what we're doing. When they're not, we send our crews throughout the state to cover state agencies and boards, legislative committees that are meeting outside of Olympia. We actually cover a lot of events that are organized by non-governmental entities, but they focus on the same topics we're interested in, which is hot governmental topics. So it's really just kind of 2 seasons for TVW. We staff up during the legislative session because that's kind of our bread and butter every year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mike, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. We appreciate you being here. This is Mike Bay from TVW. I'm Dana Cowley, and this is Charter Local Edition Northwest in Olympia. Thanks for watching.